together. Can you believe it? All right, let's dive right in. We're gonna do some streaming spreadsheets today. Maverick2295, welcome to Sub Club, Best Club. All right, so somebody brought this up on the whatchamacallit, on the Reddit, and I decided it's a fantastic topic for a stream. We're going to do some spreadsheeting because I haven't done that in a long time, and I love me some spreadsheeting. It's great. So here's the topic. The topic is reinforcement costs. How do they even work? We're going to figure out everything we can. We're going to make a spreadsheet. And we're going to figure out if and when you should consolidate regiments, and maybe debunk a few claims and theories and ideas and stuff. Check the formulas on the wiki. Make sure they're all correct. Make sure Paradox isn't cheating anywhere. That would be Notum using Twitch Prime. Thank you, Notum. I know your name. You've been around for a long time. By the way, this is my favorite. This is my favorite part of the chroma key. Look at. It's a demon soda. It's great.
Spreadsheet stream.
It's the demon soda. Mountain Dew's. What? What did that say? So see, this is why I shouldn't use it, William. This is why I should not use Chatty. It doesn't say the text. Elrath of Ashan. Yes, this is my demon soda. It's fantastic. I love it. We should make a new, what do you call it? A new emoticon about the demon soda can. It's the look, you can see France through this thing. I just loaded up France because it's the nation I always choose whenever I just load the game up just to get into the game for the sake of getting into the game. Okay, so let's do this. We're gonna pull up the spreadsheet on the right. We're going to put the EU4 on the left. Crap, it's running borderless full screen, so I can't actually resize it. Let's apply. You must restart the game to make changes take effect. That's probably a bad idea. Let's just leave it on borderless full screen. We'll have to do full screen activities here. So windowed full screen is going to be fine. Let's see. Snarfendorf never notices me. Age-old tradition. I do notice you, Snarfendorf. I missed. Did you resub? When did you resub? Or are you just in chat? I'm reading chat. Seaman, yeah, of course. France is a demon nation based on the demon soda, naturally. Alright, we got a brand new spreadsheet. It's the best kind of spreadsheet. For anyone who's interested, I have been working on this this other one, the matter of scale. It's evolved. It has buttons now. I'm doing very well in this incremental. You should also play Slurpy Derpy if you haven't, because it's a lot of fun. Windowed with window size 1 smaller than screen size. We could do that. I mean, you need to be able to actually see what's going on in the game. The problem is I'm using window capture right now, and monitor capture. It's kind of slow. But we should, let me just, we're going to take Excel capture down to here at the bottom. So we have straight shot Excel. Let's add the webcam. Video capture device. Webcam. A true professional would have had this done ahead of schedule. I know, but I didn't. So, beyond that, we also want to have game window capture. And let's duplicate this one. No, let's not use that one. Let's use the other one, in fact. Because this one's got the Twitch alerts. And let's throw the source Twitch alerts onto the Excel capture. What the heck is a Twitch alert considered? Is it a scene, media source? Oh wait, I can reference a scene? That's cool. Maybe I could just create a generic scene that has all the ancillary streaming stuff, like these Twitch alerts and things. I'm sorry, I don't know what they... Is it a browser? It's a browser source, that's what it's called. Alright, there we go. Okay. So we got 2 scenes. We're good to go. We're ready to go. We got this scene and we got this scene. So we can tab between the 2 games. We got a fancy little thing that plays when we do it. Sounds great. Looks great. Yeah, I got the big bright light on to make the green screen like crisp and clean and good. So anyway, let's go dive right in then. So we've got Matter of Scale. Yes, we're not gonna play Matter of Scale. We're done with Matter of Scale. We're gonna play this one instead. That would be it's not centered. Paranoid Android, Marvin the Android from that thing. Where do we begin? We begin in the wiki. U4 wiki reinforcement. So here's some of the things, some of the questions that I wanted to address. This is where it all began. Somebody posted this a day ago, and I commented, looks like it's time for another spreadsheet stream, because that's what we're doing. Apparently, reinforcement, according to my test, it seems the reinforcement costs 2 times the maintenance cost of a full unit. And I want to find out if that's actually true, because I want to know, like, I've always, for the last, like, 2 years, operated... Hooray, map. I've operated under the assumption that it's cheaper to reinforce an army from 0 to 1,000 than it is to hire a new one.
Love from Norway.
Deus Vult from Norway. She says Vult funny. Someone should try making her say, make her say solder and see if she puts an L in there. Watch William start complaining about me messing up chat. Is there audio delay, by the way? I don't think there really shouldn't be on between the face cam and the actual audio. If there is, then that's probably because I was messing with it. Yeah, so we're gonna check on regular troops versus mercenaries as well, because reasons. Let's start by going to the wiki.
Solder.
She says solder. She puts the L in there. Sold. Done. Game over. Game, set, match. That's it. There's no more discussion. An army needs a certain amount of money every month as maintenance. Okay, that's it. That's regiment maintenance. We're looking for reinforcement. Armies which have taken casualties will gradually reinforce up to their full strength, provided there is enough available manpower. That's the amount of reinforcements. Local reinforcement rate is 100%. I know all of this. That's fine. I'm talking about reinforcement cost. Okay. My blind is right in front of me, and I'm just going right past it, not seeing it. Mercenary maintenance cost. Tell you what, let's just begin with some basics. Okay, we have 3 unit types. We've got infantry, we've got cavalry, and this doesn't make any sense. There's no point in doing this because they all cost the same amount. It's based on their hiring cost. But for the sake of completion, I guess we'll make it anyway. And then finally we have artillery. Base cost, we know these things. We've got 10, 25, 30. We've got base maintenance. And what we want to do is just kind of confirm a few things, right? We're going to operate from the very beginning under the assumption that the wiki's wrong. And the reason we're going to do that is because it's very easy to just go to the wiki and say, okay, the wiki has all the answers. The wiki's always right. But that's not always true. I mean, it even says right at the header of every section, this section may contain outdated information that is inaccurate for the current version of the game. The last version it was verified up to date was 1.16. So it's probably right, but let's operate on the assumption that it's not and prove that it is correct, rather than just assuming it's right, right? Right. Anabolism. Subscribe using Twitch Prime. By the way, speaking of Twitch Prime, before I forget, I want to mention, in light of the agenda video that I did today, that if you are a Twitch Prime subscriber or a patron, you will be receiving an email within the next day or so asking if you would like for your name to show up on the upcoming RimWorld series. So what it's going to be is you will get an email from me or a Twitch message if you're a Twitch subscriber. It will give you a link to a hidden or like special form, a Google form that you can use, and you can put in first name, last name, and a like a nickname. You don't have to respond. You don't have to put your real name. You can put, within reason, just about anything that you want. But if you are one of those things, either a Twitch subscriber or a patron, look for that email. And what we're going to do is, I as a monkey actually set me up with a guy who is a very, very good modder for RimWorld. And apparently it's not an easy thing to do, but we're going to replace all of the names in RimWorld with only names from that list. So it's going to be cool. So guarantee every single character, good or bad, is going to be a named character. So that'll be cool. We've got Oreo112. By the way, if you want to get in on that action, Twitch Prime, by the way, it's free if you have Twitch. Sorry, if you have Amazon, you just got to take the time to go do it. So yeah, just saying, if you're looking for that, something that you could consider. What were we searching for? We were searching for maintenance. Mercenaries are more expensive in terms of maintenance. Mercenary maintenance cost. We don't want maintenance directly. We want reinforcement. See, it talks about reinforcements, but there's nothing actually in this entire section that I'm seeing about reinforcement cost. So that's very interesting. JCLL underscore B by 95 Gman 9674 all want to get named characters. Okay, so let's just start here, right? We gotta actually like answer some questions, right? According to this, the base maintenance cost of a unit that costs 10 ducats to hire is 0.21 ducats per month. So let's just write that down. We don't know for sure, not 100% that that's the correct number, because it could be rounding to the nearest 100th place. So let's use some more data points. Base maintenance cost for a cavalry is 0.52. And the base cost for a cannon, let's just say Tech 7. Base cost for a cannon, oh god, it's a Tech 10 France in the year 1444. The base cost for a cannon is 0.66. Alright, that's not what we want to do, although we should probably save this, yes, as an actual spreadsheet. We're going to call this reinforcement. Okay, let's turn this into a table. Let's create a new one. We're going to say maintenance. Equals at base maintenance divided by base cost, autofill. So we ended up with rounding, we got 0.21, 0.208, and 0.22. So we still don't know quite for sure exactly what it is. With a few more data points, we could probably narrow it down. I'm pretty sure it's going to be the average of these three. So if we wanted to, we could just say, go to the table. We could go to the total row. And then instead of doing total, we're going to say average for this number. And that is our calculated number. Now, again, more data points means a more accurate number. So let's do this. We're going to go to the layout. And I swear to God, it's always choosing the wrong one. You stupid thing. I want you to use this one. I like that one a lot better. I thought I set that as the default, but it's not doing it right. Frog Flyer, Bruce Lee Wannabe, Fumbad, Elvirier, Lion Lol, all have joined Twitch Prime, Optimus Prime, Best Club. So how can we get more data points? Well, why don't we cheat and pick a nation that has like ideas that reduce cost, and then we can just instantly kind of generate some more data points. Or even easier, let's just cheat a ton and get a whole bunch of like points and unlock an idea group that like lowers hiring cost. Let's see, quantity I think has a reduction to hiring cost, doesn't it? Yeah, regiment cost minus 10%. Let's take quantity. Levy en masse, the unconserve, we'll say mill 999. Alright, congratulations, France now has 3 ideas because they're amazing. And now we can get more data points. Now, F1, FF2, we've got, if you have a base cost of, it's showing 10 in the tooltip, but the numbers are actually updated. Weird. It shows 9, that's so strange. It shows 9 behind the mouse right now, but the tooltip still says 10. But it's added in the negative 10, and the base maintenance is now 0.20, which is different than what it was a second ago. So it's like it's updated in some places, but not updated in others. That's so weird. Let's let the game run for a month just to make sure that nothing's getting all squirrely. No one's going to dare try to attack France, not when they're this strong. It looks like it's about 02 of hiring costs, but this is a spreadsheet stream. Come on, we can't settle for 100th place of accuracy. We need to get to the 10,000th place. We must know the answer. All right, so yes, this is worth mentioning though. Yes, it is true that there is a hidden thing. Every military tech level increases your land maintenance by 1%. So it's possible that the issue is that that could be affecting it. We need to again test this theory. Of course, I've kind of invalidated my data points, haven't I? Because I raised tech. Crap. Okay, tag England. Let's do it over again. Okay, let's do this. We're gonna go back to the spreadsheet. We need more data points. These are not units. Units don't matter. Units are the exact same from each type. So we're just gonna call these data points, and we're gonna call it 1, 2, 3. We're going to extend this table. That is not how you do that. How do you do this again? Ba-da-ba-bum. There we go. Make table bigger. I want more data points. We're not going to make that many, but we're going to make some. Gosh darn it. I would say that using the artillery is going to be the best. Bigger number is going to be more accurate than a smaller number. So we need a new column for Miltech, because we're assuming Miltech is going to affect things. So we're going to delete these. And we're going to say data point 1 is going to be England on Miltech 3. The base cost should be the 10 ducats. No, that's not true. Well, shoot. On Tech 3, we can't actually check cannons. Fine, we're going to use Cav. Across the board, let's test Cav. It's almost as good as cannons, plus we have access to them right away. So the base cost, 25 ducats. Base maintenance we're seeing is... in-game is... 0.46. That seems less than it was a second ago. What's going on there? Is it because I haven't let a month pass and I was just playing as another nation that the tooltip is wrong? Because that's definitely less than I would expect. What's going on here? Is there some reason why it would be less? When does he get the tech for pivot tables? I'm going to wait one more month again. Because I think that we already saw that the thing was not updating correctly. No, it's still showing 0.46. Interesting. Weird. Okay, so I must have taken the tech before sampling the data. That's what happened. But then again, I thought I did infantry, then cav, then I took the tech, then I sampled the other one. Weird. Okay, all right. So we're gonna do this. We're gonna take Mil 1. No, not military points. I need Tech 1. Which puts Mr. England man now is at Military Tech 4. We're going to go check this thing, and we're going to see that we are now at 0.47. I want to get 10 data points with this. I'm 90% sure at this point already that it's going to come out to exactly 2%, just modified by military tech level. But this is the spreadsheetist in me. I want to confirm it. Waffleafia HQ has subscribed using Twitch Prime. So let's just duplicate the previous command. And then check the point. 0.47 is still what we're seeing. I'm assuming that that's going to be correct, that it is updating right away. We're going to do that one more time. Now we're at 0.48. Probably 0.48 again. .49. Ah! to go in the right order here. Still 0.49. The nice thing about confirming information like this is that once you've done it, once it's in the spreadsheet and you know that you're correct, I'm just going to assume that it's going to be 0.5. We want to track everything in this column to the 100th place, I think. Actually, no, let's take it a step. Well, I'm only tracking the data to the 100th place, so let's just do that. Okay, so lost track now. We're on military tech 10 right now. These need to update. 4, 5, 6. So that was 10, and then I was assuming this. Okay, right. Still 0.5? Yep. One more is going to give us 0.5 as well. Interesting. So that last one stayed at 0.5 for 3 levels. Okay. And just to confirm, we ended up on military tech 12. Is this correct? Yes, it is. Good. Okay, so from there, let's operate then under that assumption that we are paying maintenance divided by cost. It's showing at less than 0.2. We haven't factored in Miltech yet. Interesting. Okay, that actually makes me think that it's less than 0.2 as a base. Let's create a new row or a new column, projected. And we're going to see if we can make this column match what we actually see in-game, the base maintenance. So we're going to say equals base cost times 0.18 times 1 plus Miltech divided by 100. Parentheses. Contains an error, an extra thing. Okay, there we go. I made a mistake. Order of operations or some jazz. No. Oh, 1.8. That's the issue. Okay, so if the number were 0.18 as a base, then this would round down. What do we know about Paradox? Do they round up or down, typically? You need to use Tech 1 as base. That would probably be smart. Let's see if we can just tag over to a nation that starts at Tech 1. TI for Terra Incognita off. Let's do... let's go find someone. Does anyone actually start on Tech 1 over here? Yeah. Let's do tag OSA. Get their data point. Oh, that's annoying. It doesn't even show the cav cost because cav, you can't make cav. That's not cool at all, man.
Is the maintenance at max?
Yes. No, I don't know. I didn't chest it. Let's see. Tag back to England. I believe that number doesn't update based on maintenance slider. Maintenance is at nothing. Let's do that. Yeah, the maintenance slider, at least on a daily basis here, unless we wait a month and test it, it doesn't seem to update it at all. And I don't think that it should. Alright, so where can we find someone who's on Military Tech 1 that actually has access to cavalry? Because they were my data point. Looking for tech. Technology. Do you guys have cavalry? You're on Tech 2. I mean, we could try this. Am I going crazy? Why is it... There it is. Tag Oyo. You have cab, right? Yes, you do. Okay, so there's one extra data point. 0.51. What? How? Explain. Why? 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 Could it be inflation? No, I don't think anyone starts the game with inflation. Don't tell me that England does have like a... No, if they had a maintenance modifier or something, they would have... It would show up. It would have shown up in the actual... England has no inflation. No one starts... Not very many nations start the game with inflation. Corruption. Corruption doesn't affect maintenance. Yeah, Tech group? Lucky nation? Maybe? I don't know. It must be something. I mean... Corruption... Okay, let's just read the effects. Corruption affects all power costs and minimum autonomy, but this doesn't do anything for the thing there. And if you had reduced maintenance costs... Oh, god damn it. Land maintenance modifier. Modifiers in England. Hugh Carlton. Minus 10%. Hugh Carlton. How dare you not show up? You son of a bitch. We have Hugh Carlton, the diplomatic... Why does he not show up in this tooltip? He should. Alright, that invalidates all the data. Alright, let's do it again! So we know this one's correct. Oh, jeez. We gotta pick a new tag. Tag Sweden. Let's go over to Sweden, see how they look. Why is 0.46? Yeah, everyone seems to hire this guy. Karl Renner, you're fired. 0.52. Okay. Okay, what if we... Okay. Do we need to do it all over again, or can we just, like, hire a guy for the other guy? Let's just not do it all over again. We're gonna go tag back to Oyo, and we're gonna see if we can hopefully hire a guy that actually gives land maintenance. No, it would be too much to ask for. Fire all the things. Let's wait a month. The game hates me. England tells us about bronze cannons. Of course they do. It's the year 1445. Of course they have bronze cannons. Completely reasonable. Maybe you should restart the campaign. This is a fair assessment. Of course. No advisor. A custom nation would work well, I think, for like testing stuff, but the problem is that it would require us to start and restart the campaign over and over again. I think it's easier just to tag around a little bit. Alright, come on, give me the darn guy that reduces expenses. There he is. Good. Okay, we got a guy. Now we have our data point. Military tech 2. Yes. Maintenance cost shows at 0.42. Alright, cool. 0.42. Wow, that is way less than the 0.46. Alright, we're gonna call this column something else. This is gonna be list like displayed. Does this nation have... I interacted with the nobility, yes. That is it, you're right. Thank you. I clicked through events so quick. 0.46. Thank you, thank you. That makes a whole lot more sense now. Okay, so we got our data points. So we got 0.46, 0.46. We know that this has been reduced by 10%. Depending on how Paradox likes to do their rounding, we don't really know for sure. I'm guessing they typically use flooring. No, they use rounding. They don't do flooring. They actually just round it. They display it different than it actually is. No, we're not trying to figure out if the maintenance cost is worth it. When the maintenance cost guy is worth it. What we're trying to figure out is, in what circumstances is it better to consolidate regiments versus sticking a habit that I have is I'll keep around damaged regiments, because I thought at one point I went through the math of determining that reinforcement was cheaper than training outright. So if you have the manpower and you want the troops anyway, then you just always should just keep them around, even if they're at 0 troops out of 1,000, and reinforce slowly over time. But I want to test that theory because someone had posted on the subreddit talking about it, and they said, these are some little tips that they gave us. Land maintenance doesn't affect mercs. Reinforcement speed. This is something I'm definitely interested in testing. Reinforcement speed increase doesn't increase reinforcement cost. So what I take this to mean is, like, if you have the reinforcement speed advisor, or if you have the finisher for... It's not a finisher, but if you have offensive ideas, I think it is. No, maybe it was... defensive. Reinforcement speed plus 33%. If what he said is true, then this is way better than I thought. Not only do you turn your manpower into men faster, but if it truly doesn't increase the reinforcement cost, then this is also effectively a 25% reinforcement cost reduction. Because instead of it taking, say, going from 100% to 133% is an increase of 33%, yes. But it would take you 33% less time, which is where you have to invert the fraction. So instead of going 4/3, you go 3/4. So it saves you 25% reinforcement costs, basically. Yeah, the reinforcement guy is not always available. All I'm trying to do right this moment is establish exactly what the base maintenance factor is. And once we have that number, it doesn't matter. We'll be able to calculate out everything. So we need to get this projected value to match up with the displayed maintenance value. We know for sure that the displayed maintenance... let's insert another column for the discount. And we know that the discount right now is 10%. This one is a percentage. Okay. Now, we were projecting what it would be without the discount, so let's factor in the discount now. Times 1 minus discount. So let's adjust this. I'm going to turn this into a named area. We're going to change this. Instead of it saying a number here, we're going to replace this 0.018 with that named range, which I didn't autocomplete, so it's just as. Now I can just modify this here and it'll update the table for me automatically. So if we have the discount applied, which we do, then this is what we would assume it to be. So if 0.02 is correct, does 0.59 round up? And in this case, let's just apply a round to it. We could do it via the formatting, or we could actually just put an actual round into it. For now, because I don't actually want to lose these accuracy points, because I'm 90% sure what Paradox does is they display a rounded value, but they actually track the real number. And so what we're going to do is, after we get this thing perfect, and we know for sure that this is the right number, we're then going to go through and we're going to take a sample. We're going to say, okay, I'm a nation. I have 10 regiments, and this is my maintenance. This is the actual cost of my army. And I should be able to calculate out to the 100th place exactly what the maintenance should be, and if it's all correct, it will add up properly. And then we'll be able to confirm whether or not they're actually rounding, or if they are just display rounding, which is much different. So, for now, instead of actually doing a round function here, let's just have this thing abbreviate down to 2 places. And we end up with 0.46, 46, 4747, 4848, 4949, 4... Okay, so this is correct. So the guy who did the subreddit post, he kind of hinted that that was what he found himself, was that the... Actually, did he posted it somewhere here. He posted that he found that it was 0.02. But when we looked at the wiki, I don't know about you guys, but I don't see anything in here about 0.02. So potentially here at the end of this stream, we could maybe even make an update to the wiki to include what we find. So it looks like that is correct. And what we could do now is we could add in some ideas or something to test it further. Let's go back to England. Okay, right now we are England. England has military tech 12. We have a land maintenance modifier guy. We're going to take an idea group. He's already apparently unlocked a bunch of them. He unlocked quantity. You're wrong, England. We want... No, crap, quantity was the one we wanted. Alright, so we've just unlocked the first 3 of quantity, so we end up with regiment cost minus 10%. So now, between the advisor, which was land maintenance modifier minus 10, and hold on, am I mixing my modifiers? Land maintenance modifier and regiment cost modifier. How would that work? The discount is too vague. It needs to be regiment cost discount. And we did another one because I don't think they're additive. I think they're going to add them in a weird way. Because they would, naturally. So we got regiment cost discount, we got lands maintenance discount. Okay, so here we have regiment cost discount. I think what we should do is actually just take it the step further and say, keep working our way through it. We'll add one more column. Effective cost equals base times regiment cost discount 1 minus that is not a percent, that is a number. Seems reasonable that the effective cost should be 22.50. So if we're looking here, we should already see. It's interestingly, it's still saying base 25.00. It does show the enforced service minus 10%, and it's pretty reasonable to assume that it's going to be 22.50, but it doesn't actually tally it as 22.50. And in this case, the base maintenance ends up being 0.45.
The
Okay.
wiki is correct. It's 25.02. Sum 100 plus modifiers. Modifiers in this case is 1% per tech plus minus 10 for the advisor.
I read or heard somewhere though that the tech modifier is multiplicative outside of the other factors, and so I want to make sure that that is correct. You say there's something in here in the wiki? Where in the hell is it? I don't even see it. It's difficult to read while streaming, but it's still, I mean, is it in here? Mercenary recruitment cost is separate completely. Reinforcements per month is not what I care about. I care about the actual reinforcement cost. So when you say the wiki is correct, where does it say that? It's in maintenance? Maintenance for mercenaries or maintenance for the other one? Fine, let's search for maintenance. Ah, that's what it is. That's why. That's stupid. Wiki dumb. Wiki's stupid. Look at this. Mercenary maintenance cost. And then they've got it categorized regular maintenance per month here. So regular maintenance cost is under the subgroup mercenary maintenance cost. No, it should be mercenary, like regular maintenance, and then a subsection mercenary maintenance. Like, don't group them up in here. That's silly. Anyway. Okay, all troops require money each month. The cost at a full maintenance slider is computed as followed. Land maintenance factor divided by 12. Land maintenance factor. Meaning like on the sliding scale of 0% to 100%? The wiki does not include the factor from military tech level. The default land maintenance factor is 0.25. 0.25 divided by 12. 0.25 divided by 12 gives 0.208333333. It could be rounding that my numbers ended up just working out just fine at 0.02 because it's fairly close. Let's see what happens if we make this into something else. If we say that it's actually 0.25 divided by 12. And then we need to make sure we're updating this properly because okay, so we did Miltech factored in. We got base cost, regiment discount. The effective cost is not being utilized yet, but it needs to be. After effective cost, we need to apply the maintenance discount. Of course, we could just do the one big formula because that's kind of how the wiki has it done. I guess in that way we don't really need effective cost. But it's useful to know what the actual hiring cost is, so it's a useful data point. Or a useful column, I think. Alright, so we have base cost times the assumed factor, which is the 0.25 divided by 12, is what that ended up being, times the Miltech factor, times the 1 minus regiment cost discount, and then the only thing we're lacking now is the times 1 minus the land maintenance discount. So based on that, we're projecting 0.48. I'm actually showing in game 0.45. So either my formula is wrong because I've messed it up somewhere, or this number is wrong and it actually is 0.02. Which doesn't look like that's correct either because we're seeing projected 0.46.
2017 is gonna be a good one.
Thanks, man. I hope so. Okay. So you're saying that you think that it is an additive thing? I don't know. All right, let's try to evaluate what this thing is actually doing right now. We've got base cost. In this example, we've got the base cost. In this case, evaluates. Can I not do this? Yes, I've got 25 times my assumed factor is 02, which actually we want to go back to the correct one, which was the 0.25 divided by 12. So you evaluate to 25, the assumed factor evaluates out to the 0. Whatever. This military tech thing is going to give us the 1.02 from Miltech 2. The 1 minus regiment cost discount, since it is a percentage, evaluates to... Oh, I put the parenthesis in the wrong area. That's the issue. The parenthesis should be... here. Damn parenthesis. Shouldn't it? You are going to evaluate to 0.9, and you are going to evaluate to 0.9. And so someone in chat just said that that it should actually be additive. I don't know if that's right, though. Ah, yes, you are right. Thank you, thank you, thank you. That is probably what the issue is. We're looking at Tech 2, and we're supposed to be looking at Tech 12. So assuming that the... Thank you, that's the issue. Thank you. The 0.25 divided by 12 is going to evaluate out correctly to this 0.47. It's going to round. The actual number is more accurate than that, but the displayed value should round to 0.47, assuming it's all correct right now. And the number we end up with is 0.45. Okay, going back to this wiki thing, I think this is wrong, is my hunch. I don't think this is right. But maybe I'm wrong. But if I just put in 0.2, which is what my hunch said it was, then we get a projected value of 0.45, and the displayed value we end up with in game is 0.45. So, okay, I'm open here. Let me hear where did I mess up the formula that I'm getting different numbers? You said that the wiki does actually show that there's 1% somewhere buried in here. If it's 1%, then it should be listed in this formula. And where does it say that? Regiment maintenance costs. The maintenance costs at a full maintenance slider. It is 0.2. Am I being a complete dummy? And I've been comparing the reinforcement section versus the maintenance section, and I got ahead of myself, because this is the number that I had calculated as well, the 0.2, and that is what it is. Two completely separate things. Derp. Regiment maintenance cost per month equals 0.2 times recruitment cost. That's not very clear. I think it should say base recruitment cost times 1 minus discounts. Similar to what the formula in our spreadsheet looks like, it should say 1 minus regiment cost discount, and then 1 minus land maintenance modifier. And this, I don't think, is correct. This sum of land maintenance cost modifiers. And here's why I think that that's not correct. The way I have the formula written out right now, it is the sum of land maintenance discounts gets put here, and Miltech is multiplicative on its own, and we're getting correctly displayed numbers in game right now. So I don't think... In other words, they cost 2% of their recruitment cost multiplied by the sum of all maintenance modifiers per month. Therefore, any modifiers... Where does it talk about military tech level? Where in here does it say that military level affects maintenance? Because I thought that it's not listed in the wiki. In the chart below the formula? So not this one, but the other one? This wiki, it might just be me. I'm probably just blind, but it feels like the wiki is a mess. I mean, there's all this shit about addition, like ideas and stuff here. Like this, if it were my website, I would make this not here. I would say like morale improvements, and then create a link to say these are the nations that have discounts. Like, don't. It's just there's so freaking much. You can't find anything. Not at a glance, not quickly. Maintenance cost modifiers. These modifiers affect the maintenance cost of land units and work additively. So it's this whole table. Okay, but it's still not quite right. Because it's not mentioning that this is multiplicative. This is separate. It's multiplicative with maintenance. It's not part of the additive sum of land maintenance cost modifiers. And here's how we know that that what I just said I believe is correct. If it were just the sum of, it would be it would look like this. We would have we would be able to take this whole formula. Let's copy paste the rounding. Okay, so we have two duplicate columns, right? Now let's change this table. If the sum of land maintenance, if it was just land, what do they say? Land maintenance cost modifiers was additive. All this stuff was just added together with the military tech being part of that. Then instead of having this thing over here, we need to say land maintenance discount. And let's just gut the military tech reference for now. And then where land maintenance discount is, we've got 1 as a multiplier, 1 minus the discount, plus one time. No, we can just say Miltech divided by 100. 1% per Miltech. I always miss these damn parentheses. Okay. So we end up calculating out. Now what we're doing, let's see what this evaluates to, just to make sure that I didn't make a mistake. This whole thing over here, not including that last parenthesis, evaluates... Apparently I need that parenthesis. This whole one evaluates to 0.92, which logically should be the regiment just cost the discount from land maintenance modifier, which was 10%, plus 0.2, right? It's additive, so you end up with 100% minus 10% plus 0.02% equals 92%. And in the other case, you end up with a multiplicative one. So let's test this theory. Is this correct? If this is how it works, then at Military Tech 12, we should see 0.46 displayed in-game, and we do not. So, yeah, no, the wiki... I'm standing by that statement. The wiki is not completely correct. The wiki wants you to believe that you add all this crap together, and then you just... That's it. But the military tech is separate. It's a multiplicative modifier in maintenance. Okay, I feel pretty good about this formula. I'm getting a little bit bogged down, a little bit, because It's just looking at the wiki is making me go crazy a little bit, but I'm pretty sure we've got an accurate summary here. We've rounded the displayed value, but we've kept the actual true value so that we can confirm later on if it's actually tracking to the thousandth or 10,000th place. But yes, we did just confirm that the maintenance, sorry, the military tech level is multiplicative. It is not additive as displayed in the wiki. Could be a rounding problem. It's true. Try in-game with 100 troops. Okay, let's move on. So, someone just said that I've got you are multiplying in the regiment cost discount. It needs to be added. You are multiplying in the regiment cost discount. I think I understand what you're saying, but the regiment cost discount is... The way they've got it written is recruitment cost. Recruitment cost is a subsection where they take the base cost of 10 ducats, or 25 ducats in our example, multiplied by regiment costs. So I think I have it right, actually. I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be this way, that you've got 100% of the normal cost, base cost, times the 1 minus regiment discount. And I guess if we wanted to, we could kind of isolate this a little bit. Instead of saying 1 minus regiment cost discount, we could bring this guy over here. We could say that for clarity of like organization here, it's base cost times it's not even base cost, it's just effective cost. Do I really want to remove base cost from the big formula? I want the big formula to show everything so it's easy to see. It's base cost times this whole thing should just go up here for organizational sake. Of course, I end up missing a goddamn parenthesis somewhere. What are you upset about, game? All right, let's see. Yeah, that's a good idea. Let's do this. We're gonna go back to where I thought we were good. Get this alternate back. Let's get another data point. We're gonna say same nation, so we have the same 2 discounts. We're gonna say Tech 20. We're gonna go straight to the very end of the game. England now has military tech 32. Okay. At military tech 32, the displayed maintenance cost for a cavalry unit is 0.53. And with my formula, using multiplicative military tech, let's do this. We're gonna factor military tech in at the ends of the formula. Because if I were to update the wiki and correct this egregious error, we would put it at the end of it just because it makes sense to me logically. So let's pull the 1 plus miltech divided by 100 part. To the end of the overall formula. So I'm projecting 0.53 displayed, and the actual number is 0.53. The wiki, using land maintenance discount added in with the miltech multiplier, is projecting 0.55, which is clearly not what we're seeing. Now, we can get one more data point pretty easily by taking our current nation, and we can just fire the land maintenance guy. So we'll do that. We will add in another data point. We will clone the previous data point. And then we will take it was a land maintenance modifier guy. Land maintenance discount is now, the discount's now 0%. So, yeah, it's not going to help at all, because it's going to display 0.59 in both cases.
What about corruption?
Corruption we should put into the formula, yeah, but I don't think England doesn't have any corruption yet. Corruption doesn't affect these things. Corruption affects minimum autonomy, all power costs. You're thinking, I think, of inflation. Inflation does affect things. We should factor that in at some point. But England doesn't have any inflation right now. So, assuming that we fire that guy, the displayed number in both cases should be 0.59, which it is. Round up and run down. Again, my experience is that Paradox doesn't actually round the information. They round displayed values, but they keep the actual number behind the scenes. And it's going to be difficult to test, because we actually have to get the formula perfect and then test the actual declared maintenance. So why don't we do 1 month and just see? Let's do this. We're going to take England. We're going to butcher the four fella. We're going to get rid of all of our infantry. We only care about cavalry in this campaign. 7 cavalry. We have no regiments being trained, correct? No? Okay, good. Let's wait until the beginning of next month. Let's slide maintenance to full. We don't have to worry about maintenance slider. That's another thing we got to factor into. Let's just do this on a different sheet. Okay, so Wiki does not include military tech level maintenance costs. It's not true. It does. Wiki adds Miltech multiplier in with other additive values instead of separate multiplicative. Okay, and then the other thing I was just looking at was the... we need to factor in inflation. Factor in inflation, and then factor in land maintenance slider, which is pretty easy. I mean, that one's actually just a straight shot, 0 to 100% slider. Which, if I had to guess, the wiki probably does say it somewhere, but really, if you're going to put a big, huge formula that it says this is what it would be, you should modify that in there. The maintenance cost at full maintenance slider. How about instead of saying that, you just say the maintenance cost is this times maintenance slider? Because that's what it actually is. You know, I don't know. At this point, you've shown quite conclusively that your formula is a clear improvement, since you showed it accurately predicts the costs with and without the modifier, and the wiki formula correctly predicts it without the modifier, but not with it. That's a fair point. I mean, if the wiki formula is incorrect even on one data point, then there's clearly a problem with it, right? Okay, fortunately, we have an easy method to modify inflation, regardless of whether or not we want to use console commands. We can just debase currency 5 times to get inflation up a little bit. No, that raises corruption. That doesn't raise inflation, does it? Damn. I'll have to go look up the console command for it. But I want to go 1 month, and we're going to see if we can figure out exactly what the cost would be to see for sure, does Paradox round not just the displayed values, but also the actual value? Or do they keep the actual value, but round the displayed value, which is what I think they do. So 1 month passes at full maintenance. Our army maintenance was exactly 4.16 ducats. So that's our data point. 4.16. We had 7 cav. So, do you guys think we can we do, yeah, taking loans increases inflation, derp, thank you. Can we conclusively say that the alternate, the actual wiki, let's not call it alternate, let's call it the wiki, that the wiki formula is not correct, and we should just get rid of it? Because I'm 99% sure now that it's not correct, right? It's wrong. It's got to be wrong. Thank you, EM Sitter. All right, so if Paradox rounds, let's create a duplicate again. Actually, is there... I could just copy the whole column, can't I? If I just do this, then I say paste. Ah, it actually replaced it. Insert. Columns to the left. Paste. Apparently I have to re-highlight it because reasons. Alright, this maintenance per cost thing was a vestigial thing from when we were trying to figure out if the formula was actually O2, which apparently we didn't need to do, but it's fine. Okay, so we got our this one here. We're going to call this one projected round. Projected accurate. And projected rounded. So the accurate number is going to display something different but track the internal value. The projected rounded is going to actually round to the numbers displayed. So to do that, we're going to add something at the very front of the whole formula. We're going to say equals round, and we want to round to number of digits 2. Takes us to the 100th place. So assuming that this is correct, none of these numbers should change right now, which they did not because reasons. But now if I expand both of these things to more decimal places, we can see that this one is still tracking it way deep, right? Like 4 or 5 digits deep. This one is just keeping it to the 100th place. Next, we can say that if we have 7 cavalry at full maintenance slider, same settings, military tech 7, let's actually expand those out again a little bit more, just so we can see exactly what the number is. They're not off by much, but they're off by a little bit. We might see some results here. So 7 units. Say rounded, accurate, in the opposite order because that's the order they're written in over there, equals that times 7. Okay, now again, Paradox always likes to round to the 100th place, so we need to actually round here. So if it's rounded, the actual attrition suffered will be O.4, we suffered 4.16. Accurate projected 4.16, rounded projected 4.13. So I think that that's pretty much 100% proof then that even though they're rounding the displayed values, they are tracking it to the xth digit. They are not rounding it. Would you guys agree that that's sold? That we've got it. It's sold. Definitely. This was my hunch. I was mostly sure that they did keep it internally, based on experience. Okay. I would like to see something of a response in Twitch chat. Please confirm. Yes. 1, 2, 3, 3, 4, 5, 4. Everyone's sold. Good. Done. Sold. Okay. Okay. And I think that we're good with getting rid of the wiki formula. So we're going to take rounded off. We're going to keep the projected accurate. We're going to round this thing or display it back down to just 2 places, because that's what we're going to see in game. But we're going to have this continue to track the accurate value. Finally, we need to factor in then the inflation and the land maintenance slider. So we've got data point 1, Miltech. Let's put the maintenance slider here. For the front of the table. I'm going to say 1, turn it into a percent. What else do we need? Inflation. Yeah. Inflation probably doesn't need to be entered in every single point. And actually, we're getting to the point where we don't even really need a table anymore. The whole reason we had a table was so we could create data points so that we could confirm the formula worked when we were first trying to actually calculate it. Really, we just need one big formula that's gonna take this stuff, right? It's gonna take all these things in the right order. So, we'll still do it this way. We'll add in an inflation tab. That's fine. At 0%. So it's not projected really anymore. This is going to be, so this is now, it's just maintenance. It's just maintenance cost. Displayed maintenance is no longer needed. And in here then, we've got base cost times assumed factor. Nias has cheered, thank you. Base cost, assumed factor, 1 minus regiment discount. Where do we fit in the maintenance slider? Probably just the whole thing, right? But maintenance slider is not 100%. You can only go down to half price. So we need to put that in there. I think we can just stick this whole thing at the very end. We just say times maintenance slider divided by 2. Because if the maintenance slider is at... No, that's not right. Maintenance slider at 100% should be... It should just be 2 times the maintenance slider divided by 2. If the maintenance slider is at 0%, then we end up with 2 times 0 is 0 divided by 2, which is 0. That's not right either. How the hell do we do this formula? I gotta do another 1 minus, don't I? 1 minus... If the maintenance slider is at 100%, I want this to evaluate to 0. So 1 minus 100% equals 0, which then gets multiplied by the whole thing, which evaluates out to 0, which is wrong. If the maintenance slider is at 100%, I want to evaluate to 1. And if the whole thing is at, the maintenance slider is at 0%, I want it to evaluate to 0.5. Yep. 50 plus slider divided by 2. Is that okay? It's 0.5. Yeah, okay. Thanks for just solving. I don't want to think about it. I'm like losing brain cells trying to figure it out right now. So 0.5 plus land maintenance slider divided by 2. So in this case, we're going to evaluate to 0, which is not right. This should evaluate to 1. If we multiply by 0 right now, the whole thing gets zeroed out. That's not right. It should be 1.5 minus maintenance slider divided by 2, because then in this case we evaluate out to 1. And then if we add a 0 here, it would be 1.5 minus... No, this isn't right either. You guys are giving me some crazy formula here. This is not right. It's not right. Oh, did I just do it wrong? I did a plus. I did a minus instead of a plus. Okay. I'm sorry. I apologize. You guys are right, not me. 0.5 plus maintenance slider divided by 2. That makes a whole lot more sense, doesn't it? What can I say? I'm tired, alright? It's late. It's part of the reason why we're in discussions about changing the scheduled stream time. Streaming at the end of the day is a bad idea in most circumstances. So this evaluates to 1 now. Good. If we put the maintenance slider to 50%, 0.5. And then we evaluate over here, we should end up with 0.5. No, 0.75. That makes sense. And then if we go all the way down to nothing, we should evaluate out to 0.5. Okay. Okay, I'm happy. That's weird. How come when I do 0.1, it puts 10%? If I do 1, it puts 1%. If I do 1.00, it puts 1%. Apparently I can do like 0.99 to get 99%, but if I do 0.01 more, I end up getting a... That's weird. Kind of weird how Excel works that way. Okay, finally, we need to factor in inflation. So... times... and inflation, I think, is literally just a... there's no rounding, because we've already confirmed. If Paradox doesn't round in one place, they're not going to round anywhere else. This is just going to be a flat increase based on inflation. So we can literally just say 1 plus inflation.
You aren't deleting the percentage sign.
Oh, is that what I'm doing? Ah, thank you. This is why I keep you all around. I suppose we could get rid of the effective cost thing. It's just, it's useful to know what the actual price would be. I think. It might come into play later on. Let's keep it for now. Alright, so we've got our calculated big, huge formula. It's better than the wikis because it includes all of the things instead of just putting them in all kinds of different places. Like, this, where does this mention inflation? Let's just, I'm going to take my time. I'm going to actually read for a second here. The maintenance cost at full maintenance slider. So, conditional thing that doesn't actually put it in the formula. Dumb. Regiment maintenance cost per month. 0.02, we have that. Recruitment cost. They don't factor in whether or not the discount on recruitment cost affects it, which it does. It doesn't say, and it should, base recruitment cost times, like, minus discounts. Land maintenance modifier is adding in the military tech level incorrectly. We've got war taxes, trading and salt, native council, revolution target, ideas and policies, decisions, total maintenance cost. I don't see anything in this whole subsection about inflation. But there was a thing like at the end of the page about inflation. So they just like at the very bottom, or is this the top? Where is this? There are 3 instances of inflation written on this tab, on this page. Recruitment cost modifiers. So, here's where I would say that the wiki, again, is kind of not very clear. Recruitment cost modifiers. It tells you that the recruitment cost is going to go up based on inflation. But then, when you actually go to the maintenance cost section, because they don't reference the fact that recruitment costs here is modified by inflation, it could lead you to believe that regiment cost is not modified by inflation, which it is. I would just be more clear. Just put everything where it needs to be. Being over the force limit affects maintenance. You're right, it does. It's, to my memory, it's, like if you're at 11 out of 10, it's 11 tenths. And if you go... No, it's not linear. What is the formula? Let's just go to the force limit section. Force land, okay, define the land force limit ratio. Total maintenance cost. Total maintenance cost per month is the number of regiment, it's the sum of regiment maintenance cost per month times max land force limit ratio, or 1, whichever is higher. So if you exceed the force limit, or it goes to that. If you don't, it evaluates to 1, which makes sense, which is a 1.0 multiplier, so it doesn't affect you. Gotcha. I see how they're doing that. Number of land units divided by land force. Is it actually? You know what it is? It's that ships are different. That's why ships have like a quadratic type thing into it. Not quadratic. What is it? I want to go look it up real quick. For my own sense, naval units. Let's just say Navy. Base naval maintenance trunk 0036, 3. Ships are really not part of the discussion for this stream, but is what it is, right? All I know is that the more you go over the naval force limit, it's not the same as it is for land. So it is apparently linear with land. That's interesting. All right, we're going to name this thing, instead of assumed factor, it is now land. I hate it how it does that. The damn name manager. Where's my name manager? Here it is. You can't rename it from there. You gotta rename it from the damn... You can't... Why can't you do this, Excel? Please. All I want to do is rename the name. Like, I created this named thing, and now I can't change it. And it's like, oh, if you change it, that's not gonna work because it's being used in formulas. Well, no shit. That's why I made it in the first place, is so that I could actually, like, dynamically update stuff. You stupid thing. It's annoying. And if you do this, and you try to rename it from here, instead of renaming it, it just creates a new one. So now we have assumed factor and land maintenance factor. So it's just annoying. But now that I don't have it, now I should be able to go to the name manager and actually delete assumed. It's just such a stupid workaround. Why, just let me rename this stupid thing. Come on. Okay, so next, inflation should be additive to recruitment cost. For the effective cost? Right now, inflation is multiplying in with base cost, which is multiplied in with the regiment cost discount. Okay, how do they have their formula organized? They've got the land maintenance factor right at the very beginning. Let's move ours up there too. Alright, so we got land maintenance factor at the front, times the base cost, which is the way that they've got it organized. Well, they don't have it organized the right way. They've got recruitment cost, which is inaccurate. They got base cost. Base cost gets affected by the regiment cost discount. Inflation is, I agree, it's not going to make any difference having it up here, or like at the end, but let's move inflation adjacent to the actual regiment cost, because that is kind of where it applies. So we got base cost times the regiment cost discount. It's not additive. I'm 99% sure inflation is multiplicative. Maybe it's not, though. Let's find out. Okay, so we got maintenance cost. Let's rename you instead of maintenance cost, multiplicative. And we will copy paste you over here. We're going to call you additive. Okay, if you're additive, then instead of being 1 minus base cost times 1 minus regiment cost discount. The discount would get added in with inflation, so we would have 1 minus regiment cost discount plus inflation. Always an extra parenthesis somewhere. Excuse me? Times 1 minus... There we go. There's an extra parenthesis at the end. Okay, so... why are these numbers different right now? Referencing all the same cells. We're getting two different numbers. Original has an extra at end still? Maybe it wasn't an extra then. Okay, what did I do? Original had a mistake? Alright, screw it. Delete. Let's fix this one. We know this one's correct, right? Or no, this you just said this one has a mistake. Land maintenance factor times base cost times the discounted. This evaluates out for the regiment discount right here. 0.9. Okay. Then we're factoring in multiplicative inflation, which is right here. That's the error. This needed a parenthesis right here. And it says that there's an error. One minus that one. Open, close. Open, close. That's it. Now that formula is correct. Now we can duplicate the damn thing. Okay. So we had 1 minus regiment cost. We got these two things. Got the plus. And now it's 1 minus regiment cost plus inflation. So inflation at most is going to be, or sorry, at minimum is going to be a 0. So it's just going to be nothing. And at most it's going to be like 2. So we say that. We should evaluate out, get all the exact same numbers. And now we're ready to test. So let's go get some inflation. What was the command? Add inflation. Insert politically incorrect joke here. What? I don't understand. Okay, E4 console commands. Inflation 10. Oh, I just did it in the opposite order. Damn. Oh, wait. Apparently it did work. But why does it say insert politically incorrect joke here instead of saying that it added the... whatever. Paradox, your sense of humor is funny. Okay, so we have no advisor. Which means that our land maintenance discount is currently 0%. Let's send that down the whole table. We've already confirmed that this part of the formula works. We're on military tech 32, so we're down here. Maintenance slider's at 100%. Inflation is now at 10%. And we do have a rounding thing here, so that's good. We can test the theory. So if maintenance cost is multiplicative, we will see 0.65. If it is additive, we will see 0.66. Let's go find out. We end up with 0.66. It is additive. That's very interesting. Okay. That goes against what I would have assumed. But that, I mean, it does kind of make sense. They do like to lump their additive multipliers together. So yeah. 1 minus regiment cost discount plus inflation. So anything that affects regiment costs is going to end up just being a blob of a number that gets thrown against that one. Gotcha. Okay. So we got maintenance cost. Correctly calculated. I'm glad that you pointed that out. I would have made that assumption. I probably wouldn't have tested it. Which is a fool's errand, right? Okay, what's next? The whole point of this stream is to test reinforcement, not maintenance. But we've got a formula, and we've confirmed a few things. We have confirmed that we've done these two things. We have one more to factor in, that is force limit. But we did confirm that the wiki is stupid, and that it doesn't factor in military tech right. At least there's that. Next is the final multiplier, which is going to be force limit ratio. Which, rather than doing an actual force limit ratio that I have to manually enter in, let's just do this. We're going to say insert, and we're going to say full regiments. And then we're going to say force limit. Let's just assume we're England. We've got 7 total regiments. Force limit is currently 35. And so then at the very end here, we can tack in times. In this part, I know the wiki is actually correct on. We say the max of either total regiments divided by the force limit, or 1, whatever's larger. And so as long as we're less than the force limit, we see no actual effective change to the maintenance cost. But if we start to go above, we should see at, like, say, a force limit of 10 and 10, we go up to you should see a nice clean increase in price here, where this first one here should evaluate to 1, which it does, and then this next one should evaluate to 1.1, which it does, and then 1.2, etc. So that part of the formula is already working and good. So, okay. Some people think 0 inflation is optimal. Some people think under 5% is good. Who knows? Well, the simple answer, in my experience, has been that the reason people stay under 5% is that all of the bad inflation events happen at 5% or higher. Anything under 5 prevents that. Spending admin points to buy down on your inflation is fine, but like if you don't have to, why bother? Technically, you're probably better off hiring an inflation advisor and having him do it over the course of 30 years. Save your admin points for coring. What is quadratically increasing? Okay, so we're good. Next, we can finally move on to reinforcements. Now comes the fun. We're going to tag over into a nation, like, say, Desmond's. For the sake of making things quick and easy, let's go to full maintenance. Let's give ourselves a claim. Let's speed the game up for a second. He has no allies. We have allies. We look solid. How do you get the mouse hover to show province ID? It's a console command. You just type debug_mode. That's how you turn that on. Then you can see province IDs via hover. Okay. Mercenaries which die from attrition don't cost any material reinforce to replace and don't even show up in any statistics as losses. That's curious. Should check that out. Merc cost free for attritioned mercs. Okay, we've factored this thing in. Things I want to test. I still want to test 0 regiment reinforcement. 0 regiment attrition. 0 strength. And then we need to actually determine, so all we've really done so far is just calculate out maintenance cost, right? We haven't actually gotten to the point where we can calculate out reinforcement cost because we had to do our due diligence and confirm that everything in the wiki is actually accurate, which it's not. So, all right, let's get a little bit of morale, and we're going to go ahead and declare our war. We're going to go suffer some troop death, because we can, for reasons and things. Nice job, James Fitzgerald. We have faith in you. Wow, that was actually an actual stack wipe. Okay, so now there's one more thing we didn't factor in. Regiment strength. And that's another thing I think the wiki fails to consider. Regiment maintenance cost per month is 0.02 times recruitment cost time land maintenance modifiers. Where in here does it state that that maintenance cost is based on the strength of the regiment? Because if you have a damaged regiment, it does not cost full price. You said that going over the force limit is linearly bad, it's quadratically bad? It's quadratically bad for navies, it's not quadratically bad for land. Okay, so let's see. We've got troops, right? In theory, we should be able to project exactly what the cost would be in regular maintenance. So let's take our maintenance slider to 0. Let's suffer no attrition. We don't want to have the maintenance slider at full, because if we have the maintenance slider at full, we'll recover troops, which could change the math and make it complicated. So for 1 month, let's do a 1 month recovery tick and see what we end up with. So our nation right now is military tech 3. So we're here. Military tech 3. We don't need this whole data points thing anymore. Let's get rid of this whole data point thing. So, at Miltech 3, these regiments and stuff don't matter. Land maintenance slider is now at 0%. Let's confirm that we have 0 inflation. We do. Let's confirm we don't have a regiment cost discount guy. We don't. So we have 0% across the board. Our effective hiring costs for a cav should be 25 on the dot. Base maintenance should be 0.52. Military tech 3 here. I'm showing 0.28. But that's because the base maintenance price is not factoring in the reduced maintenance cost. If I do this, we should see the 0.28. What am I missing right now? We should be seeing right now 0.57. And we're not. What have I missed? I'm missing something silly.
Is half of the
0.28 is half of the 0.52? It's not though. 0.52, sorry, 0.52 divided by 2 is 0.26. Ah, yeah, I've got it there. Thank you. I've got it. Military Tech 3, we're over the force limit. Derp. Thank you. Let's just not worry about this. We just needed to have that in there for the sake of making sure that it was correct. But 3, let's just say we have 3 troops. Whatever. I have an idea. This table is going to be called data. We're going to create this whole thing, ideally, should get pulled to the data tab. Let's hope that that continues to work. It should. Yeah, I was able to see I can copy paste the damn thing, but I can't rename it, because that makes sense. It allows me to consolidate the table a little bit. Now, the drawback to this is that number of regiments is very important for calculating whether or not you're over the force limit, but again, I'm 90% sure we're going to need to calculate out the actual infantry total. So I actually have to, like, double this whole thing. And we need to say infantry count, infantry number. Just say infantry. Infantry and infantry.
1 year. Happy 2017, I remember.
It doesn't actually matter. It doesn't actually matter how many infantry regiments you have, just the total number of regiments. So actually we can get rid of a couple of these. Cool. Something about a Happy New Year. Thank you for that. It was cannon fodder. 12 months in a row, 1 year. Happy 2017. Thank you, man. I remember you from becoming a moderator recently. Thank you. Okay, so we need infantry number. We need cavalry number, artillery number. And right now, this was referencing artillery, so we need to Insert artillery. You become total regiments again. This is starting to feel similar to the attrition workbook that we did. But I know this is going to become important because we're going to actually have to calculate it out. We don't have full regiment strength right now. We've got 2,120. I probably should have actually used the attrition workbook as a starting point, because some of this data we'd probably already have. 930 cavalry, 0 artillery, total regiments of 5, force limit is 7. And we are actually on Miltech 3 right now. So we should be projecting 0.52. And we're back to 0.52. Now again, annoyingly, if we lower the maintenance slider, I don't believe that this thing's going to update. It's going to still say 0.52, which is not correct. It should now be at a maintenance slider of 0%. 0.26. Okay, next step. Next, what we want to do is we want to make this thing smarter. Base cost, this needs to get changed. Effective cost, it's not really that important actually. Let's just get rid of it. I never did use it in anything, so let's just get rid of it. So, the actual maintenance cost that we're going to pay is now, instead of being all this stuff, we need to now factor in what it would be on a per unit basis. So what we're going to do is we're going to take land maintenance factor times base cost times regiment cost discount. So base cost, this is the part we're going to change. Base cost do I need to triple it, one for each unit type, or can I just say... I think what I can do, I want to back this thing up real quick. Let's just create a copy of this. Right, 10 o'clock. Can you believe it? All right, so let's mess with this one. So we got land maintenance factor. Instead of base cost, we're going to say... just get rid of the base cost altogether, and instead it's going to be infantry divided by 1,000. So we end up with 2.120. Ah, filter keys. No, stop it. I held the shift key. Infantry divided by 1,000 times... I really don't need a VLOOKUP here, but I like doing... It's just 3 data things. We don't need it, do we? Infantry divided by 1,000 times... No, it's not supposed to be.
However, you should have seen that thinking face of yours. Perfect for an emote if I was fast enough.
You should totally check out the VOD and pick it up. Timestamp. It's been 2 hours on the dot. Data. It's not at base cost. This is where, okay, you know what? I do it using VLOOKUPs usually. Alright, first and foremost, we've got the infantry divided by 1,000 And I don't want you to reference at base cost. It's referencing like it's in the same row, so it's trying to reference the same row on the different sheet, and that's not correct. Let's just type it. I want to do a hard locked reference to cell B2. So we're going to say B2 F4 to lock the reference. So at infantry divided by 1,000 times the base cost. And then we can take this whole thing. And we're going to add in all of the different subgroups. So we're going to say that thing plus 2 more is one big entity now. And instead of at infantry, we're going to say at cavalry. Instead of at infantry here, we're going to say at artillery. And instead of B2, it's going to be B3. And instead of B2, it's going to be B4. Work, please? Nope. Formula getting big, man. Alright, land maintenance factor times... I think I copied an extra parenthesis. Plus. Derp. There's a missing plus, that was the problem. Okay, so 46 maintenance costs. Doesn't seem very right to me. I think we got a little bit of a problem with the formula right now. It's C2 and D2? Is that what I did? It should be B2, B3, B4. No, it's B2, B3, B4. Infantry are the B2, cavalry are the B3, and artillery are the B4. Yeah, that's correct. So the issue is we've got... This first parenthesis goes to here. This one goes to here. You go to here. This parenthesis goes all the way back to there. So in this block, we now have... Oh, this is what's wrong. Shit. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. It's referencing the wrong page. Stupid thing. It's not B2 that we want. It's, data B2 F4 to lock it. Take that, copy, paste, change to 3. Take that, copy, paste, here, change to 4. There we go. Okay, so land maintenance factor, we've got the summation of it divided by its number of units. Then we've got that all multiplied by all that other shit. Done. Good. Done and done. Let's see what happens on the monthly tick here. We are not reinforcing. We're not suffering any attrition at all. Let's get a data point. Formulas, man. Okay, I projected maintenance cost should have been 0.46. Looking at the actual number, we end up at 0.46. Yes! Yeah! We got it! Alright. So that means we can get rid of mercenary or maintenance cost up back. Next! Next! We're almost there! We can do the reinforcement cost 1. To actually get to the point where we can actually test these theories here. Land maintenance doesn't affect merc maintenance. It's 10 o'clock and my wife is calling me. Why is she calling me right now? I should probably answer. It's probably important, otherwise she wouldn't be calling. 1 second. Sorry, one second, guys. Well, I'm glad I answered. I locked the door. I have a habit of locking the door every single time I walk by it. I'm a very habitual person, so like when I turn the lights on outside, I check the door and I don't even think about it. I just lock it. And so I locked the door. I locked my wife out of the house. And then she got mad because I locked the back door too. So anyway, all right, so these are the things I wanted to test. Land maintenance doesn't affect merc maintenance. We have yet to get to that point. Reinforcement speed increases don't increase reinforcement cost. That's one I definitely want to test. For military tech level, we know that. Attrition doesn't kill as many troops as if the regiment was full strength. For example, 1% doesn't always kill 10 troops per month per regiment. I don't know that that's correct, but I think we should test it. Land maintenance is additive with at least the exception of 1% per military tech tested with negative 20% maintenance. So he had calculated, for example, that 10 regiments would be 10 times the land maintenance factor of 0.2 times 1.32 for military tech 32 times 0.08 times 0.09. He's saying that this one's correct. Wait, I gotta read it. Land maintenance is additive with at least the... Yeah, I knew that to be true. Things that reduce regiment cost they reduce maintenance, but it's separated from things that reduce maintenance directly. Okay, so what are we looking for now? Next, we're going to try some reinforcement. Let's do this. We know that being in our own land, we're going to recover 100 troops per month, per regiment, assuming we're at full maintenance. I don't want to reinforce too fast, though, because I want to be able to use this nation to test things. So let's just do 10% maintenance slider. We're at 10% now. So we should recover 10 men per thing. Let's see what we get in a month. Surprised he's not trying to train any men right now. Demon soda. I love this thing. It's great. Okay. So we projected army maintenance. Armies is at 0.51. I should have written some of these numbers down a second ago, but we actually do have them written down. We got 2160. We've got how many cav? 940, perfect. Yep, so reinforcement was exactly as expected. Still 5, still 7. We're at 10% maintenance slider. We projected let's get rid of the maintenance stop back because we don't need it anymore. We projected an actual maintenance cost of 0.51. Game shows an actual maintenance cost of 0.51. Great. And then reinforcement cost. So this is where we actually finally, after 2 hours, get to embrace this next topic, which is how exactly are reinforcement costs calculated, right? Back to the wiki we go to see what they know. They're saying for reinforcement, What was that previous one? Attrition damage is applied before reinforcements, so an army suffering from attrition will not take noticeable damage unless the attrition exceeds the reinforcement rate. I think that's a horrible way to phrase that. They will not take noticeable damage. That's bullshit. They'll take shit tons of damage if they're suffering attrition because you're going to be paying for it. The regiments will stay the same size, but that doesn't mean they're not taking noticeable damage. Your manpower pool will get depleted like crazy. This can mask an otherwise severe drain in manpower due to attrition, so players are advised to pay careful attention. Okay, I guess I understand. If you can consider the whole thing as a whole argument, but one sentence of it. Whatever. Moving on. Reinforcement. Reinforcements per month is not what we care about. I already know exactly how to calculate the amount of reinforcement. Like how many you can reinforce. And I think this is where, like, in the Mercenary section was where there was an actual thing about or is there just nothing in here about reinforcement? Am I losing my mind? We got regular maintenance per month. So hold on, regular maintenance per month. This is just wrong. Right here, this is just wrong because it's not talking about reinforcement. It's still talking about maintenance. And earlier in this page, it says maintenance it's a 0.02. It's not land maintenance factor divided by 12, is it? Am I losing my mind right now? This doesn't look right at all to me. And I don't see anything in here about, like, what does it cost to reinforce? Well, let's just see if we can figure it out ourselves then. So, what did we end up paying? We ended up paying, in this data point, the exact amount expected for Army maintenance, 0.51. And here's what's an important thing I think we need to note, is that we paid in maintenance cost 0.51, which is the amount we would expect to pay after the reinforcement. So we didn't pay 0.46 plus reinforcement. We paid 0.51 plus reinforcement. Does that make sense? You guys see what I'm saying? Okay, so we had that, and then the displayed reinforcement cost at 10% was 0.23. Yeah, but that it's roughly 0.2 is wrong. The right number is 0.2 on the dot. I think what it is that the 0.25 divided by 12 may be like someone's approximation for back when they didn't understand that land maintenance factor or land military technology was affecting regiment reinforcement or regiment costs. Okay, wait. Are you... That's true. This is next month's projection. This is last month's actual cost. So last month's actual cost was 0.73. We're projecting again 0.73. No, that's not true. We're projecting 0.63. What? That's really interesting. We ended up paying more. Let's just go another month. What I'm confused by right now is it says Armies O.51, Mercenaries, Condottieri, Reinforcements, total cost O.63. Where the hell does O.63 come from? Also, O.51 plus O.23 is O.74, not O.73. That O.63 makes 0 sense in this. I have no idea why that's there. It's not a summation of anything listed here. It's correct on this number right there is correct. The number in the tooltip is showing total cost 063. Where's that come from? Maybe. But again, let's let another month go by and see what we actually end up with. We don't have any advisors. We don't have any inflation. We don't have any corruption. We have no ideas that affect discounts whatsoever. We've got national manpower, some garrison stuff. We got no discounts. We got nothing. Alright, so we ended up reinforcing again. We're now at 2200 and 950. Still Miltuck 3. Still no artillery. Still 5 and 7. Still at 10% land maintenance slider. Still at 0% inflation. Base cost, we actually factored out that doesn't need to be here anymore. We have no discounts across the board. We projected... last month's result was the following, 0.73. So it is what was projected, but I still guess I don't understand what the 0.63 is. That number is projecting the number we actually ended up paying. It was accurate, but what is the 0.63? Yeah, the rounding is a thing. It's a display rounding thing, but anyway, so based on these number of men, what we had at the beginning of the month, we projected 0.51 in maintenance. And annoyingly, this thing doesn't actually break out or subdivide army maintenance and army reinforcement. It tells you the total. It sums them here. We're looking at 0.22. I wonder why it's different between these 2 months. Let's go up to 20% reinforcement. And again, looking at that tooltip, 0.56 plus 0.41 does not add up to 0.8. Is it correct at any slider level? Yes, at maximum, 2.16 plus 0.94 is 3.1, exactly. And I bet if we go all the way down to nothing, it's accurate. If we go right to 50%, we end up with 1.09 plus 0.71, which is 1.8. 1.8 minus 1.52 means we're off by 0.28. I think what it's doing is that it's messing up with the land maintenance slider. Someone coded it, this tooltip, wrong. Just the tooltip is wrong. It's wrong in the middle, but correct on the ends. How does that happen? Again, it's correct here. The number that actually matters is correct, but in the tooltip, it's wrong on the ends and correct in the middle. Or sorry, wrong in the middle and correct on the ends. Yeah, annoyingly, to know exactly what maintenance you're at, you have to hover over this thing. You can't, no, it'd be way too reasonable to hover here. You can see corruption, like, right here as you're doing it, but no, to see land maintenance, you gotta go up there. You could make a plot of the values as the ladder goes from 0 to 100%. That seems like so much work, and it's so far outside of the scope of what we're trying to do. Urgh. Does it even matter? Let's just write it down. Let's just write it down that it's a thing that's wrong. Army maintenance slider tooltip is incorrect when reinforcing.
All the stats.
All the stacks? All the stats. That's correct. At 0% and 100% slider. Oh, wrong. In middle. Wrong guessed in the dead center. So there's definitely a system. There's a pattern to the bug, to the problem, but I don't want to take the time right this moment to try to figure out what it is. Okay, so let's do a month of 100% reinforcement. Every regiment will hopefully suffer... Yeah, there's room. Let's do 1 month of 100% reinforcement. And I'm hoping what we can do is we can get a... Let's do this. I want to guarantee... 100% reinforcement's a bad idea with this cav. Can I delete the cav? It's probably not going to let me delete the cav because we're next to an enemy unit, even though I'm in my only province. Great. I'm going to go to 50% so we have just enough to recover all of the cav. Or could I figure it out, what the rate would be with a half of a cavalry recovering? I don't like the idea of that. Use naval attrition? You mean like send the guy out into a transport and then disband him out there? That might work. Well, let's just do this. I think we can afford to ignore that data point. Let's grab the cav. Let's attach him. Let's wait like 3 days. And can we disband you now, including the cav? Alright, cav is now dead. Now we have pure data, which is great. So, we now have... Let's see, do we want to write this down now or after the end of the month? Simultech 3. We have 2,400 infantry on the dot. We have 0 cav. We have 0 of that. We've got 4-7. Maintenance sliders at 100%. Inflation's still at 0. Take the land maintenance all the way to full. Let another month go by. I want to have clean numbers. We're going to go... Assuming the regiments are equally damaged, I could always shift consolidate to get one regiment down and just have one regiment recovering, which is probably going to be the easiest way to do it. Let's do 1 month of 4 regiments recovering, 1 month of 2 regiments recovering, 1 month of 1 regiment recovering, and see if we can figure out exactly what the reinforcement cost is for 100 infantry. And we can use that data to extrapolate what the reinforcement cost would be for cavalry, because it doesn't matter what type of unit it is, it only matters how much the cost of the unit is. I know that for sure, 100% from experience. So we projected exactly 2.2. We're projecting that again. We paid exactly 2.14. What? Zero to 5.7. What's wrong? There's something off. Shit! Is it war exhaustion? No. That affects recruitment time, but not cost. We don't have inflation. We still don't have any corruption. It shouldn't be counting any cav. We don't have any cav. Why is this number now not correct? We've got projected army maintenance of 0.57, and we've had it perfect in the past, and now my projection is showing 0.58. So it was correct for a single cav. That's what the test subject was. Why is it Why is it off by 1/100th of a percent or 1/100th of a point? The formula is not wrong, is it? This is display rounding, but keeping the accurate value. And in our experience, in our testing, this is always... I think I know what it might be. Maybe. Maybe? What if they're doing something stupid, like they're rounding the displayed value of each of the regiments or something? 0.57 divided by 4 units. I don't know what's going on. Off by 0.01. Well, crap. The Excel value is exact. The display is rounding. It's tracking it to like any number of digits, but the displayed number here is rounding to 0.58, which is what this one's supposed to be doing. We tested it earlier, and it was doing actual numbers and displaying a rounded value. So we're both rounding to the hundredths place. We should have an accurate. We should agree that it's 0.57 or 0.58. But there's a mistake somewhere. I suppose it could. It could be related to the number of regiments or something. The actual strength of the regiments. We had some weird stuff happen with the attrition worksheet that we did before. All right, let's do this. What you think you think maybe they're truncating to like the 1,000th or 10,000th place, and I'm not? That could be something. Let's try this. Goofy Goober Boys, Twitch Prime, thank you, buddy. Appreciate it. Let's just start to log some of these reinforcement values. So we reinforced four regiments at 10% each. So that's 400 infantry that we recovered. 400 that's not where that goes. 400 infantry. And the cost was how much? Well, it's projecting the exact same numbers, so I'm 90% sure that this is going to be correct. It's going to be what it projects. 1.65. So per unit, 1.65 divided by 4 units, it's like 0.41. Goofy Goober Boys, now cheering as well. We don't have inflation. We have 03 war exhaustion. We don't have any inflation. That's not it. Alright, we got one data point. Let's shift consolidate. Now we're going to recover. We're going to get one more data point at 100% reinforcement with 2 units. What the... I swear to God, Paradox, I'm gonna murder somebody the next time I see you. The next time I go to a Paradox event and I see someone that works on EU4, I'm just gonna grab them by the throat and just strangle them. I'm just gonna get them. Did you see what just happened? Do you guys understand why do you even know? Do you get it? Do you see why I'm upset? Raise your sheets. Raise your... It's the same shit. Different day. It's the same thing that happened with the attrition sheet. I shift consolidated and all of a sudden the numbers agree. 0.58. Exactly what I would count. Why the frick does consolidating change the number? It shouldn't. But it did. There's always these weird bugs with non-consolidated regiments. It's just driving me crazy. The exact same thing happened with, remember, okay, so here's what, if I remember correctly, the bug that happened when we were doing the attrition workbook was that I had the attrition workbook working perfectly for full strength regiments, but the second any regiments were damaged, all the math went to shit. Because you know why? Because Paradox math. That's why. Alright, so with 2 regiments, we had a reinforcement cost of 0.82. We reinforced 200 infantry, 0.82 displayed reinforcement. Let's do one more shift consolidate, and we'll get one more data point with just a single regiment to reinforce. Power projection have anything to do with reinforcements? Let's check. Morale, mercenary cost, legitimacy. No, nothing. And I don't think we have any institution effects right now. We got manpower recovery. Yeah, nothing that matters. Get our next data point. There's no such thing as fractional troops. It's not like CK2 where you can have a tenth of a unit, like the single arm of a man that still exists. It's all integers on a sliding scale from 1 unit to 1,000 units in a single regiment. Okay, our final data point for the infantry reinforcement is we reinforced 100 infantry, and the cost is projected at 0.41. So if it was logically consistent, then 400 should be exactly 4 times 100. So 0.41 times 4 should be 0.64, but we end up with an actual displayed value of 0.65. And the only way that could happen is if Paradox is rounding up from above 1.6. 1.6. Something bigger than 1.6 and the next one over. So it's not actually 0.41. It's rounding here too. We need more data points to actually figure out the exact number. We can approximate though. I mean, if we take 1.65 divided by 4, we get... Wait, what? 1.65, excuse me. We know that the number is somewhere between 0.41 and 0.4125. And we know that it cannot be as high as 1.66 divided by 4. There's got to be somewhere between 0.41 on the low ends and 0.15. So if I was Paradox, which number would I choose? I'm going to go with the 0.41. I think it's just going to be right in the middle. I'm predicting it's 0.4125. Which, I think, if you translate that, isn't that like 1/32nd? No, it's close though. 1/28th? 1/24th? 1/20th? 22nd? How the hell do you turn that into a fraction in Excel? Can you just like give me the, like, god damn it. 0.4125 as a fraction is, it's 33/80ths. Hey, 33/80ths it is. Okay, so, let's just assume that that's correct. Reinforcement cost. Well, we can make some basic assumptions real quick and to actually get some conclusions out of the stream, because I do have to wrap it up. It's already 10:40. I'm a little bit past my plan. Oh, I like that. Thank you. Yes, Nature Guy 86. You are smart man. You very smart man. I like it. I like it a lot. I think you're right. We took out a lot of the variables, right? We got rid of inflation. We got rid of regiment cost discount, land maintenance cost discount. We got rid of all that stuff. But the one thing we didn't factor out was the Mil-Tech multiplier. And because the Mil-Tech multiplier was extra and outside of everything else, I think you're right. I think that makes a lot of sense. What if it is just something as simple as 0.4 times, so we could say equals 0.4 times 1 plus 1 divided by, Mil-Tech divided by 100. It's going to complain saying that I have a bad formula or something. That's fine. There's no named unit. So in this case, 3 should give 0.412, which is definitely better than 0.4125. I think you're right. At Nature Guy, this guy. Smart man. You're smart man. That seems pretty logically conclusive. It's between the two ranges, and it makes a whole lot more sense than something random like 33/80ths. We could test it, but I would have to wait another month. Let's do that. Let's see. In theory, what would we do? If the number is 0.4 times mil, I need to get it so that one regiment costs 0.42. So I need 2 more military tech levels, right? If I take 2 more military tech levels, and your hunch is correct, then this next month's reinforcement cost will be 0.42, and it already is projecting 0.42. I don't even think we need to let another month go by. We could take another 5 techs. Assuming we were on military tech 10, we should be at 0.44. You are smart man! Very smart man! I love you! You're amazing. Pepe Silva. Alright, so... I think we can say, with conclusivity... Is that a word? We've got this thing. It's called... we'll call it reinforcement factor is .04. Done. Sold. Good. So let's draw some conclusions. Whoa, how did I do that? Let's draw some conclusions here. If in a situation you have a infantry at 0 regiments, 0 strength, it needs to reinforce 1,000 troops at 100% maintenance. The reinforcement cost would be how do we get to 0.42? Base maintenance value is 0.22. It should logically just be exactly double, because that's what we're seeing here. Reinformance factor, apparently. Did I accidentally do it twice? Is that what I just did? Oh, that's right. You can have spaces in named ranges or named name manager. Yes, increasing military tech increases reinforcement costs by 1% per military tech. What I'm trying to think through right now in my head is, while you're reinforcing, you're paying double the maintenance cost, exactly double the maintenance cost to recruit the new men. And the question is, do you also pay in that same month the reinforcement, the maintenance cost from those men? So effectively, do you end up spending not twice as much, but 3 times as much, because you pay for the reinforcement and you pay for the maintenance? That's kind of what I'm trying to think about right now. But it's getting very late. I'm getting very tired, and I don't have enough Mountain Dew. Let's see. We could figure it out, right? We're projecting an army maintenance cost of 1.12. Of which is the reinforcement exactly 0.44, which we expect. The army itself is 0.68, which should be, assuming that we are on military tech. What are we on right now? We're on military tech 10. We have right now 3,100 men. 0 cav, 0, 0. We've got 0.47, 100% slider, still no inflation, no discounts. The projected maintenance cost should be 0.68. According to the formula, it is correct. The reinforcement cost is tallied separately. So assuming that you don't pay maintenance on the men, the actual number we see should be the exact number that it's projecting, 1.12 in the actual army maintenance list. If not, then we know something's awry. It's exactly 1.12. Okay, so I think we can say this with some conclusivity. You do not pay maintenance on reinforced units in the month that they reinforce, which is logical. Just needed to test it. It would be kind of bullshit, actually, if you had to pay that as well. Okay, so we now have 3,200 men. I think it's safe to assume we can send most of this stuff down. These are the only variables that are actually changing right now. Okay, so now that I've isolated that thing, I don't have to worry about that. We can, I think, break down the actual cost reinforced from 0 to 100. Which in this case, for a unit that has an actual cost, a hiring cost of exactly 10 ducats, because we have no discounts whatsoever. Each month, we would pay exactly 0.44 for 10 months. To reinforce it from near, near exhaustion or near death, all the way up to 100. So we'd end up spending 4.4 ducats to regrow the regiment. And as we're doing that, the amount that we end up spending in maintenance does go up. I guess the next thought that I have is, in times of peace, like let's say you're at peace, I'm wondering, are you better off reinforcing at 10% land maintenance or 100% land maintenance? Should you just get it out of the way? Or should you do it slowly over time? Is there any advantage one way or the other? That's another question that just comes to mind. I'm just going to write it down because we're not going to have time to cover it right now. When at peace and trying to min-max, is it more economic? And the idea being that if you reinforced at 100% speed, then you go back down to 0% slider. Okay, so it's 4.4 ducats to reinforce our regiment from nothing to 100% at Miltech 10. And it's only 10 ducats to buy them outright. Interesting. So, buying a unit outright is a fixed price that doesn't go up over time. It's 10 ducats at the end of the game, regardless of your military tech level. But to reinforce that unit actually gets more expensive the later into the game you are. So at the very beginning of the game is when you're going to be at the best circumstance to actually, like, look, if we actually have, say, military tech 32, then the displayed reinforcement cost would be what? I mean, I'm taking it to an extreme, but it's 0.53. Actually, shouldn't we be able to just take 0.04 times 1.32? And that's the actual number, 0.528. And it's rounding it up to 0.53. Yeah, I didn't need to take all that tech. Oh well, so it's actually 0.528 times 10 months at 100%. That's not right. Oh, it's 0.4, not 0.04. So yeah, just times 10. So So at the end of the game, it costs you 5.28 ducats to reinforce the unit, and at the beginning of the game, it costs you closer to 4 ducats. Does that seem weird to anyone? That it costs more to reinforce later? Yeah, I think you're right, Spoony. The ideal circumstance would be that you don't start reinforcing until the very, very last second. That you actually need the men. Unless you're at the manpower cap and it's preventing you from reinforcing or recovering more manpower. But it does seem strange to me that late game, so that's an observation. It appears that due to mill tech level modifying reinforcement, but not build cost, it gets more expensive to reinforce to full strength late game versus early game. It's a minor observation, but it's an observation nonetheless. Just seems weird. It almost feels like if you were to make it simple, you would just make it so that the hiring cost goes up by military tech factor as well. How are you getting the 0-man regiments? Shift consolidation. While holding the shift key, you grab the army, you hold it on the left shift key, and then click consolidate regiments. Hold shift while clicking to leave 0 strength regiments behind, allowing you to reinforce them later. And one thing I can tell you for sure that we did test is that, and this was the opposite of what I expected. I've always avoided shift consolidating while sieging because usually I want to reinforce faster, but if you're running through winter in Russia or something and you're suffering attrition every month, shift consolidation will save you on manpower because 0 strength regiments don't suffer any attrition at all. Because attrition is calculated before reinforcement, and a 0 strength regiment cannot go negative, so it just doesn't suffer anything, it just sits at 0. The other regiments don't instead take more damage to compensate or anything, they just ignore it. They just pretend like they don't suffer it. That can't really help you when it comes to things like sieges. But it's situationally useful information. Unit maintenance, not reinforcement, is based on number of troops. Yes. The actual unit maintenance that you pay is based on the number of troops, actual number of bodies. So if you have 5 regiments of infantry, but they're only at 2,000 number of men strength, you're going to pay for 2,000 divided by 1,000 times the normal infantry build cost in maintenance. So, long story short, I mean, even if you're not playing as a horde, which they used to get free reinforcement, now they only get half-price reinforcement, even still, we know for sure that these numbers are going to hold true, whether you're talking about cannons or artillery. It costs 44% at military tech 10. We could actually chart this out real quick. Let's say it's equals 0.4 times... Here, I'll do this. Let's say Miltech 1, 2. We'll carry that down to Miltech 32. Full reinforce. Equals base reinforce times 1 plus this divided by 100. Send you down all the way. Let's say then, so that's the actual reinforcement cost for 1 month. So this whole thing needs to get multiplied by 10. And let's go ahead and average out the displayed values. So we're talking about a single infantry right now, and if you have a single infantry, they cost 10 ducats to hire, And at the very, very early game, it's 40.4% as expensive to full reinforce a infantry regiment as it is to hire a new one. As any nation. If you're a horde, it's even more pronounced, because hordes would pay half of this number. But in all circumstances, unless you're over the force limit, it's clearly superior by far, even at the end of the game, to reinforce your regiments rather than consolidate fully and then train new ones. That is a point. Let's consider something. It's not actually as simple as I'm making it right now, is it? Because let's just say, worst case scenario, you have 10 regiments that are at exactly 0 men. Exactly nothing. Then we would have to have a table and actually calculate out the price. We would have to say, okay, here's our criteria. We've got 10 regiments, 0 troops, total cost to reinforce. It's going to take 10 months at 100% maintenance. Maintenance. So the first month, it's going to go something like this. It's going to go 0, 100, 200, down to 1,000. We've got, so number of men. We've got reinforced cost is fixed. It's going to be say 0 for the first month, because you're not paying anything when you're going from nothing to nothing. This month, going from 0 to 100 is going to cost, even at the beginning, best case scenario, right? We'll say 4.04. And this is a fixed price. It's going to go, you're going to pay that much all the way to the end. So the sum, there's a button to auto sum. There it is. You end up paying 40.04 ducat. 40.04, that doesn't look right. You end up paying 4.04 ducats in reinforcement, but the maintenance is a dynamically changing number over the course of those 10 months. In the first month, you have no men, so you suffer 0. The second month, while at full maintenance, you now have equals number of men divided by 1,000 times all this crap over here. We got to figure the whole damn thing again. All right, land maintenance factor is 100%. No, that's not the right number. Land maintenance factor is fine. That is a named reference. We don't want to do this add infantry thing. We can get rid of all of this stuff about artillery and the table references. We could just say, instead, it is going to be the number of men divided by 1,000. We've got a subscriber. His name is Namtekor. Okay, so infantry divided by 1,000 times the base price. Okay, I think I know what I'm doing here. I can take this whole block. I can say number of men divided by 1,000 times 10, because that is the price of infantry. Times this whole thing, which is 1 times regiment cost discount, which we don't have in this case. We know that this would work if we needed to, but there is no regiment cost, there is no inflation. Let's just get rid of this for the test. We have land maintenance discount. We don't have a land maintenance discount because we're at 100%. Mil tech level. it's relevant. So times 1 plus Miltech level is just going to be 1. Maintenance slider is going to be not a...
Keep up the good work, Arumba.
Arumba. I like the way she says my name. We don't need that. We actually need this to just be 100, because we're going to be at 100% maintenance for these 10 months. And then max, we don't care about force limit, so we can just get rid of all that crap. Done. Maintenance cost is 1 ducat? No way. That doesn't seem right. This is evaluating to what? 50.5? That's not right. You should be at 1. That's why. Done. So the maintenance cost in the first month ends up being 0.02 because... And that doesn't even make sense, does it? It shouldn't be there because you don't actually have... Okay. First month, we pay the 0.404 in reinforcement. Because we had 0 men, we pay nothing in maintenance in the first month. We only pay this. So instead of referencing this cell, we're actually going to reference the cell above it. And we're going to send you down. And that is the maintenance we pay over the 10 months that we do the reinforcement. Let's go ahead and auto sum. So that's the net. It's not as simple as just saying it's 40% of the cost, because you have to be at full maintenance that whole time. And this is best case scenario to make it cheap, because in my example, I said we had 10 regiments. And actually, this is 1 regiment that we tested. This is the cost for 1 regiment. It's going to cost you 5 ducats. 5 is still way cheaper than if you had to hire 1 unit, right, at 10 ducats. But here's the thing. Best case scenario for reinforcement. Worst case scenario is, what if you have 100 regiments, all of which are at full strength, and you have to raise maintenance on the entirety of your army for 10 months to reinforce that 1 man? Why does 100 men have no cost? Because you don't pay maintenance cost in the month that you do the reinforcement. We tested that earlier, you may recall. So in the month that you do the reinforcement, that you gain the first 100 men, you're only paying reinforcement. In the next month, you're only paying for the 100, which is why this cell is referencing the one above it. You're getting 100 men in reinforcement, and you're paying for the 100 that you didn't have at the beginning of the month. Does that make sense? I think it makes sense. So, I would be willing to bet that my knowledge is actually wrong in certain circumstances. I've always operated on the assumption it's always better to reinforce than it is to train new men. And I think that that's true if you're always at 100% maintenance. Then you should just reinforce. But if you're sitting at peace at 0% maintenance, you should either continue to sit at 0% maintenance until you actually need the men, or in almost all circumstances, I think you'd be better off just not doing it. Because if you had to raise maintenance on 80% of your army just so you could reinforce 20%, it'd be stupid expensive. Way, way more expensive than just hiring a regular unit. It is cheaper. To answer your question, EM Setter, we didn't actually test this, but if you wouldn't otherwise have your maintenance at 100%, it is cheaper to burst reinforce. But that's actually what we're talking about right now, is that unless you really need those men, you should just not reinforce at all. Only reinforce when you would ever have when you would have maintenance at full anyway. There's no reason to raise maintenance on all the other troops. But I think I've been playing it wrong. I think I'll be at peace at 100% maintenance to reinforce my men, thinking I'm saving money. instead of training new men. I still need to test it a little bit more, but I'm leaning in that direction now. I like some actual tests, you know. So here's the summary, or somewhat conclusion, we'll call it. I think it is better to never reinforce unless you would be at 100% maintenance anyway. Unless you have a very small army. A very small, let's phrase it the other way. You have a very large number of damaged regiments versus full strength. The argument being that, let's just say, okay, for crying out loud, I gotta wrap this show. It's already 11 o'clock, but I can't let go. An example, let's say we have 100 regiments. In this example, 50, they're all infantry. 100 infantry. 100 regiments of infantry. 50 at 100% strength. We just got done with a war, we shift consolidated, and so we have 50 at 100% strength and 50 at 0% strength. Okay, so now we're running into a situation where we end up with this. To reinforce these guys, the 50 that are at 0% strength, I'm going to have my army maintenance at 100% for 10 months. So each of these infantry, I'm going to pay 5 ducats to reinforce. That seems reasonable. That's half price. But because 50 of my men are already at 100% strength, that means that for those 10 months, we're going to end up spending the maintenance cost for a full strength regiment would be based on the current tech level 0.202 ducats per month. So this times 50 regiments times 10 months. There's an extra 9 at the end of that thing. So that whole thing times 50 regiments that are reinforcing times 10 months. It's going to get even worse if you have a ton of cannons that are full strength, right? Because full strength cannons with a 30 ducat higher cost are going to have 3 times the maintenance as 50 infantry. And almost always, your cannons are going to be at full strength while your infantry are not. So this is an even bigger argument for not doing it. So over the course of those 10 months, you're spending 101 ducats in maintenance on units that you could have instead spent half as much on by being at 0% maintenance. So that thing, so we'll just say equals that times 0.5 if we just stay at 0% maintenance. We paid 4.949 ducats per regiment to reinforce these guys over those 10 months. So equals that times 50 regiments. And then we sum these two. So, in this example, and I should have done this in a better, more logical way, but again, it's so late and I've got to wrap it up soon, so I'm not creating things in a way that I can continue to manipulate them like we did earlier. So in this example, with 50 infantry, half at full strength, half at 0, it costs us 300 ducats over those 10 months to reinforce. The alternative would be just straight up consolidate, stay at 0% maintenance, and click the button to hire 50 infantry. Right? So if we did that, then we would pay 50 ducats times the higher cost of 10. $500 ducats is a lot more than 300, isn't it? Maybe this ratio is still where it does make sense to do. All I'm trying to illustrate right now is that depending on how many of your men are already at full strength, relative to the number that reinforce, it changes this math. You can't just make a blanket statement that says it's always better to reinforce. Yeah, a graph would be good. And also, again, I think this is a bad example. Now that now that the numbers don't agree with my prediction, more likely we're not going to have 100 regiments of infantry. We're going to have 100 regiments total. We're going to have 50 cannons. 50 cannons at 100% and 50 infantry at 0%. And so now these numbers get tripled. This gets multiplied by 3 because cannons cost 3 times as much. And no, you can't just multiply that by 3. That's the wrong one. I don't know. This one gets multiplied by 3. This is the actual standing maintenance of 50 cannons for 10 months, 151 ducats. And then to reinforce your infantry would be the 247 ducats. So for those 10 months, you spend 400. Right now, it's still cheaper to reinforce. We need graphs. Logically, there is going to be an upper bound to where, yeah, that's what's. I'm losing my mind now. It is still in favor of reinforcement. Maybe we can make a blanket statement that it's always better to reinforce, even though I still think you should never, ever, ever never like raise maintenance at peace unless you. I don't know, unless you're at war or would have 100% maintenance anyway, like due to having rebels to suppress or something. You're probably better off just staying at 0 strength regiments until you actually go to war, reinforce once you're at war. You were using the maintenance cost at 0% when you were summing it, not the maintenance cost at 100%. If I'm making a mistake, it's because it's too late. I'm too tired. We're gonna have to come back to this. This is turning into a bigger project than I thought it would be. There's still things that I want to do. I'm not done with this. I don't want to give it up. I don't think this is correct. All right. Need to make a graph that visually shows breakpoint where reinforcing at 100% over 10 months isn't better. Siberian Winter, thank you for your subscription. What else? Is it really that easy? The breakpoint is when 1/6 of your army by value is being reinforced? One-sixth of your army? So you're saying less, 1/6 or less? So like if the ratio, instead of being 50 cannons at 100%, you're saying if it was like 83 to 17? Is that what you mean? Because in this case, obviously, this would be stupid, because you're paying 100% maintenance on 83 cannons just to reinforce infantry. That's stupid. You should. I'm thinking definitely retrain them, right? Because to train 17 infantry would be 170 ducats, and over the course of 10 months, while you reinforce 17 infantry, you would end up paying that times 83 times 3 times as much because they're cannons. Spending 1,232 ducats, which this could have been cut in half if you just stayed at 0% maintenance. I don't know. I just can't. It's too much. I don't know what Excel solver is, but I want to find out. I just can't do it right now. I'm sorry. It's so late. My wife's going to kill me already. We got to go. We got to wrap it up. I hope you guys enjoyed the stream. I hope you guys like this kind of thing. It's been a while since we did an Excel one. But, I think we kind of 1/6 by value of the unit. Yeah. I'm going to write that down, but I don't really fully understand what you're saying right now. 1/6 value by unit is breakpoint and Excel solver. I don't know. I'll Google that and see if I can figure it out. What the hell did I just press that duplicated that line? Is that like a keyboard shortcut? How did I just do that? It's like Control D? It's Control D? What the hell does Control D do? Jesus. Holy crap, Control D duplicates the line. That makes sense. Control D, duplicate. Cool. Anyway, yeah, we're gonna wrap it up here, and we will have to come back to this because I am not done, and I just don't have time for any more of it tonight. But I do, again, I hope that you guys enjoyed this kind of thing. Do, if you are a subscriber or patron, look to see that email about submitting a name and a nickname for your RimWorld character. And beyond that, yeah, I'll put a copy of the spreadsheet. It's not very, I mean, I'm not very impressed with what I've done so far, but I'll put it into the thing. You guys can community mod it, or whatever you want to call it. But I'm also going to play a little bit of an outro song, just so that I don't cut myself off, because apparently I do that every single stream. So, yeah. Do head over to Discord if you want to talk, and I'm going to put this in, the E4 chat, if you guys want to take a look at it in Discord. Okay, alright, I'm gonna go. Thanks for watching, everyone. I'll see you guys in the next stream. Thanks so much. I'll see you soon.